Welcome back, students. Today we will go through the part 2 of lesson number 2, formulas and functions. So in today's video you are going to learn the different types of cell references used in Excel, like say relative reference, absolute reference and mixed reference. Now let us begin. Now what is a cell reference? Cell reference is nothing else. Cell reference is the cell address, or what we can also call it as a range of the cell that we use in the formula. Okay, this is known as a cell reference. Now let us begin with the relative reference. Now when you create a formula, okay, the reference to the cell or the range are usually based on the position relative to the cell. That is, when you copy or move the formula to the other cell, the reference to the cell automatically gets changed. So this one I have already showed you in the last class when I showed you how to work with the basic formulas. Okay, so relative reference is nothing else. That is, when you copy or move the formula to the other cells, what happens? The values in the next cells automatically get updated. So we call this as a relative reference. Now let us begin with one example. Now see, I have created one worksheet. Okay, now worksheet on 4 students with 5 subjects, like say English, Math, Hindi, SST and Science. So here all the marks consist of 100 marks. So overall there are 5 subjects, so total marks is 500. Okay, now how to add it? So you can either click on the each and every cell and use the plus operators and you can add it, or you can also use the function, that is sum function. Okay, so I'm going to use the sum function here. So we all know that the formula, it should start with the equal sign, so don't forget to type equal sign followed by the sum function, sum. Sum means addition. Now open the first bracket. Okay, now go to the first cell, that is the first marks of Rohan, 35. Okay, click on 35. You can see here the reference or the cell reference has appeared here, B3. Okay, so this B3 is nothing else, it is the relative position of the cell where it exists. So press the mouse button and drag till the last subject. So my last subject is science. I'll drag the mouse till science and release the mouse button and finally close the bracket. Now this is the formula to add the values, okay, followed by the cell reference. Now press enter key, so you can see the result here and the formula are shown on the formula bar at the top. So the rest is very easy. You need to calculate only once, okay, in Excel. So the rest you have to use the autofill feature. So take the mouse to the bottom right corner here. You can see that the pointer turns into the skinny plus sign. Okay, so once it turns into the small plus sign, press the mouse button and drag till the last student name. So I will drag till Pretty and release the mouse button. So we call this as a relative reference. Why? Because you in rest of the cell the value gets automatically updated. Okay, now if I go to the formula here and if I see the formula, that is, now you can see here the first cell, the range of the cell in the first is B3 to A3. Now what happens, as I have dragged the mouse button, automatically the value into the next cell has been updated, that is B4 to F4, B5, B6 to F6. So we call this as a relative referencing. Okay, now I just want to close this formula, so I'll click on the show formula button at the top. Now next is absolute referencing. Now let us see what is a absolute referencing. Okay, now sometimes what happens is that you don't want to change the address of the cell while copying the formula. Now what happens in relative reference is that as you move to the another cell, as you copy the formula to another cell, the value automatically get updated. Okay, it automatically get changed. Now what happens, sometimes if you don't want to change the address, okay, of the cell in another cell, while copying the formula, then we call it as a absolute referencing. Now what you have to do if you want to use the absolute referencing is that you need to add the dollar sign. Okay, so it is very important that you have to add the dollar sign before the column and the row number. Okay, some of the examples are given there. Now let me go back to my worksheet and show you how to work with the absolute referencing. Okay, now say let me go to this cell and let me calculate the percentage. So percentage is and average is same. So what is the formula that should be used to calculate the percentage? That is marks obtained by the students divided by total marks. So this is the marks that is obtained by Rohan in all the 5 subjects. So let me click on this cell. So it is showing me the address of the cell. Now how to divide? We have to use the forward slash. Okay, so this is the forward slash divided by the total marks. Okay, so this is the total marks on all the 5 subjects. So let me click here. Now press enter key. So he got 74.60 percentage. Now again let me drag it below, okay, till the last marks of the student. Now what you can see is you can see some kind of error coming here in the next cell, okay, till the last cell. So it means that there is something wrong with the formula. Okay, that is why the error has been shown. Now let me check it what is wrong with this one. Now if I double click here, it's absolutely okay, nothing is wrong in this formula. Okay, because I have divided the marks obtained by total marks, that is cell address F8. Now if I go to the next cell here and let me just see the formula that I have used. Now the first one is okay, it is G4. Okay, that is the marks of the Anju, total marks is G4. Okay, but if you see here it has been divided by F9. So let us check which cell is F9. So if you see, this is the F9 cell. Okay, it is in the column number F, row number 9. So this cell is empty, that is why it is showing the error in a formula. Now if I go and click on this cell, now it is showing me F10. Now what is happening here? Automatically the value of the cell in the next cells are getting updated. Okay, now I will show you this formula again. So for that you have to go to the formula tab, click on the formula tab, click on show formula. Okay, now let me move here. Now see the formula here. What happens is the first address of the cell is okay. Okay, it is G3, G4, G5, G6. But if you go to the next address, what happened? Along with this one, the first address of the cell, the second address of the cells are also getting updated automatically. Okay, so this is known as a relative reference. But what I want, I don't want to change this address, that is F8, means I want it F in each and every cell. I want to make it fixed, that is constant. I want to make it absolute. Okay, so how to make it absolute? Let me close the formula here. Now in this case what I have to do is, let me delete it. So is equal to marks obtained divided by total marks. Okay, this one. Now what I want to do is, I want to make this F8 absolute, means I don't want to change any value. I want to make this 500 fixed. I want to fix it. So for this you have to use a dollar sign before the column and after the row. So you can directly use the dollar sign by pressing F4 key from the keyboard. See here, can you see? So once I press the F4 key, it is showing me the dollar sign in front of the column heading, and it is showing me dollar sign in front of the row number. Okay, now what happened? We call this as a absolute referencing. Now press enter key. Let me press the enter key. Now let me drag it till the last cell. Now you can see it is showing me the correct formula now. Okay, now if I click here in this cell, you can see it is F8. Now if I go to the next cell, I can see the first address of the cell has changed, but it has not changed F8, it remained fixed. Now let me go to the next one. Again, see the F8 remain fixed. Okay, so this type of referencing where if you want to make a certain cell constant or fixed, we call it as a absolute referencing. And while using the absolute referencing, make sure that the column name and the row number, you should add the dollar sign in front of the column name and in front of the row number of the cell that you want to make it absolute. Okay, now let us go to the mix reference. Now let me show you what is mix reference. Mixed reference is the combination of both relative reference and absolute reference. Okay, so here is a multiplication table, okay, of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 till 10. Okay, so let us go through first what is a mixed reference here. Now you can see that mixed reference is a combination of relative and absolute reference. Now what happens is, in this type of reference, either the row or the column has to remain fixed. So make sure that when you are using the mixed reference, either the row or the column has to remain fixed. So let me show you how to work with the mixed referencing. Okay, now I want to create a multiplication table of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30, okay, till 10. So how to do this one? So let me click on the first cell. Okay, let me start with the equal sign. Okay, 5 into. So you all know that the multiplication sign, if you want to multiply, we have to use the asterisk sign. Okay, click on the first cell, that is 5 into 1. Now press the enter key. So 5 into 1 is 5. It is okay. Now let me drag the mouse below. But if you go through, you can see that in rest of the cell, the calculation, that is the multiplication table, is wrong. That is 10 ones are 10. It should be 10. It is 50. 15 into 1, it is showing me 750. So what is wrong here? So let me check. This one is absolutely okay. Okay, now if you go to the next cell, you can see that what it is doing is, this is okay. Okay, it is in column number A, row number 6. So this value is okay. It is getting multiplied with B5. So which one is B5? B5 is 15 here. Sorry, 5 here. Okay, so what is happening? 10 has been multiplied with 5. So that is why it is showing me 50. Now if I click on this cell, you can see that the first cell address is okay. It is 15 is in cell address A7. But if you see here, this 15 has been multiplied with 50, that is the cell address B6. Okay, now what is happening here is the relatives referencing is happening, that is automatically the next value of the cell is getting updated. Okay, so it means there is something wrong. Now how to work with the mixed reference? Let me show you. As I have already said that either the row or the column need to be fixed. That is, you need to add the dollar sign either in the row number or in the column name. So let me begin with the equal sign. Okay, now let me go and click on this cell 5, A5. Now if you see here, column number A, whether it is the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, they may be in the different row, but they are in the same column. That is column number A, means the column is common for all this number. So now what I am going to do is, I am going to lock the column. Lock the column means I am going to make this column fixed by adding a dollar sign. Okay, then use the multiplication sign. Now I want to multiply this with this cell address B4, sorry. Now if you see here, you can see that this row number 4 is common for all the numbers, whether it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They may be in different column, but the row is common for all these numbers. So what I am going to do is here, now I am going to fix this row by using a dollar sign in front of the row. Okay, so yeah, what happened here is I have used the dollar sign in front of the column name and dollar sign, sorry, not at the back side, dollar sign in front of the row number. Okay, now press enter key. So it is showing me 5. Now let me drag below. Now I think it is showing me the correct value, that 10 into 1 is 10, 15 into 15, 30. So what exactly I have done is I have locked the column and I have locked the row as well. Okay. Now let me drag it to this particular side and just check it whether it is okay or not. So let me drag the mouse and go till the number 10. Now you can see that it is showing me the multiplication table of from 5 to 30, that is till 10. So I think the value in each and every cell is correct. Okay, so this is how we do the mix referencing. Now let me show you the formula here. See here, you can see the formula here. What I have done is I have locked the column in of the first cell and I have locked the row in the second cell. Okay, so in this way either the column or the row in each and every cell address should be locked, that is by using a $sign. Okay, this is how we create a mix referencing. So in this video you have learned how to work with the relative and absolute referencing along with the mixed referencing. Okay, so this is all in today's video. I want all of you to go through the video and practice it at home. Thank you, students.